up, friends? We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up, what up? It is Dehjai. How y'all doing,
Hello.
friends?
Hello. If you've never been here before, welcome. We do a cross section of pop culture in real life. Today, we're coming to you with a reality update. A lot going on. Well, not really a lot, honestly. It's been a light reality update week. Let's start with Bozema St. John is joining Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
A brown skin beauty.
I
I'm excited.
can't tell you how excited I am for her joining for nothing other than seeing her versus Dorit. I
Girl.
feel like Garcelle has tried to hold Dorit accountable and has done a good job for the most part. But Garcelle has still kind of like backed off a little bit.
Child, Garcelle get weary.
She does. She does. And she's been kind of she hung out with Dorit, and people gonna be trying to take it easy on Dorit because she's getting divorced and all the things. So I am excited to see Bozema get in there and get to it with the girls. Can't wait.
I'm ready.
Can't wait.
I am ready. And she's beautiful.
She is.
I'm also intrigued to have like more ethnic diversity in the sense that like
Yes.
people who watch these shows assume that all Black people is just Black people
Correct.
here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, forgive my ignorance, y'all. I do not know where Bozema is from.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that she is of African
I feel like she's Ghanaian.
Is she Ghanaian? I don't know. I know like with Garcelle, she's Haitian, American.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that in the last few seasons, we've had a little bit more of her cultural things come in. I just want to see more of that.
Yeah. Actually saw she was in the lobby. She was staying at the same hotel as me. Oh my God. When I went to Ghana, there was people everywhere. But I saw her. She's beautiful in person.
Garcelle or Bozema?
Bozema.
Oh wow.
All right. So I'm gonna skip the first one and then go to the Traitors cast. So apparently Monique Samuels may be on Traitors. She's making her foray back to reality TV after leaving and ending her marriage.
She is just getting on my nerves.
Why you say that?
The girls want her to join either Love and Marriage DC or I know she's never coming back to Housewives or come to the Housewives, right? But like doing all these random one-off reality shows that are like no name. Who the hell is watching this? I tried to tune in because people said it was funny, and I have not gone back. I tuned into the one that Sheree and Phaedra was on. I think I watched the first episode.
The people go up for it though. The people go up for it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm no Monique fan. I've been clear about that. I've been honest about that. I am not a Monique fan. I don't think she's needed on Love and Marriage DC. I think the dynamics that they have going on there are plenty. And so yeah, I don't think that she's needed there. And whatever she was bringing in, especially if she's not married. So
I mean, Winter wasn't married, and
she didn't bring much either, to be honest.
Hell, I don't think Winter is on the show no more because when Carlos came, this is not a part of the updates, but when Carlos came and did the podcast in DC, she surely was not upon that stage. It was
Winter, I feel like she quit.
Arena, and Ashley.
I feel like Winter low-key quit during the reunion though. Like she didn't actually quit. I watched the full season actually this time because it was actually somewhat entertaining. But Winter just seemed over it. Like she was trying to make that relationship work with the guy and it didn't. And I feel like she quit. Like I feel like she vocally was like, girl, I don't want to do this no more.
I mean, I have seen some commentary floating around interviews that she's done since the ending of this last season where she's talking cash shit about the whole ordeal. So we'll see. I'll come back and maybe have a conversation about it later.
Yeah. So,
back to Bravo.
Yeah. So that's that. Let's do Love and Marriage Huntsville real quick. Marie Scott has been our latest DUI celebrity. What?
Pseudo celeb. I'm not giving them celebrity status. I'm sorry.
Our latest reality star DUI, which seems to be an issue, honestly. Like, the girls need to stop. I feel like production needs to sit down and have a conversation, even if they're not running. It's like, you know,
just get in the Uber, hire you a driver. According to Maurice, he got all this money, baby. Go ahead and hire you a driver and let them chauffeur you around to all your shenanigans.
And like, I hear it, especially when you're far away from home. Like, it's not the cheapest thing to do to hire an Uber, but like, then you're gonna have to limit your liquor, or you're gonna have to pay for the Uber. Like, as someone who has lived up the street from all of my carryings on, I always took an Uber. As somebody who lives further from my carryings on, if I'm going to carry on, I still take it. So
I was walking. That's how close I was from carryings on.
Well, sometimes I would do that as well.
Walk on down to the bar and walk down on to the bar.
So
in below certain degree weather. Yes. Well, freezing, bundled up, but the alcohol kept you warm.
Down to the bar, honey. So, anyways, I just don't understand why these people with money aren't hiring drivers, or at least calling an Uber at the very bare minimum to say like, hey. And I feel like when you go out, okay, I know that sometimes the spirit will move you and you will have one more drink or two more drinks than you had planned to. But I feel like when you know, and you're at a big age, this is not like young people, right? When you're at a big age and you know, you're like, all right,
I'm past my drivability limit.
Or I can have two drinks. And once you hit that third, like, you know, you're in a danger zone. Like, we're adults at this point. Like, I had an incident when I was younger. I didn't get a DUI, but I did leave brunch a little over the limit, and I hit a car. And I tapped it when I was coming out of the valet. And thankfully, that lady did not call the cops, because I was still trying to wait for my bar stuff. And that's the one thing they tell you is do not get a DUI while you're waiting for your bar fitness stuff. So anyways, thank God she did. She was just like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It was a nice car, too. She was like, oh, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh. But, you know, like, that's one thing that you do when you're young and stupid. But, like, y'all are big grown. Y'all are a big, big age to be still making these stupid mistakes.
But you know what? Something about this last year for me and the transition and the turn of life in which I have taken, I don't know that I'm putting so much weight on big age and knowing better. Like, in this instance, yes. Because certain, you know, alcohol is going to impair your judgment. Yes. But like, in other instances, there's sometimes life, and there's no way to be prepared for that.
No. I hear you, and I agree with you. Like, there are certain things, but liquor is not one of them. You know the liquor limit. You know your liquor limit. You know when you're going to be swerving. You know where you can comfortably drive your ass home. Like, you know that, and you should know that, especially if you are an adult that consumes alcohol. You know. Like, if I'm driving, I know how many drinks to have, which is usually one, maybe two if I'm out all day, or if I'm out for a long period of time. But I know not to overserve myself, and I stick to that. And if I have that second drink, I'm going to stay out longer and make sure I eat something else to soak up the liquor. Like, we have to be mindful at a certain age about alcohol. Like, yes, there are certain things that we can kind of be like, yeah, okay, you know, maybe not a big age. A big age doesn't mean anything, but that kind of stuff, it does.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I'm just becoming a lot more loosey-goosey around, you know me. I have always been very, very black and white. And I feel like life experience in the last 2 years, I'll say, has given me a different perspective on how I should be about things now.
Yeah, I hear you.
With the exception of that.
I hear you. Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to highlight a couple of things from Love and Marriage Huntsville. First thing, they are taking our advice. Not that they're taking our advice. They're not taking our advice. They don't know who we are. But
they might.
But we have been saying that Stormy is that girl, and they are bringing Stormy's friends in now.
Well, come on.
To
Praise
build a
Jesus.
world around Stormy. The rest of those girlies, they're having their little sit downs and their ponderosas, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it is Stormy that they're building a world around. So Stormy's friend Trish, who I think we're going to find out later in the season, may have had some canoodles with Martell. But her friend Trish is now a part of the situation. And so we're gonna see what that story unfolds. But like those original, 3 couples, 6 people, I hope they're on high alert because they are building the show around Stormy. Okay.
Move them right on out.
Move them out.
Much as we love Kimmy is not really giving us story these days. Kimmy is becoming a background player.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about Kimmy, I did not realize, and she talked about this on the last episode, that her mom also had breast cancer right after her.
Oh.
Yeah, so God. She had the triple negative. Kimmy had the aggressive triple negative version, and then her mom had the less aggressive, like very slow moving triple positive version. So she was kind of like life came at her very, very fast.
So, I mean, it would stand to reason why she's become in the background.
Correct, which was my point. It's like, with all of that going on, who gives a shit about this reality show? You know what I mean? Like, real life is happening. Who cares about this reality show mess? You know what I mean?
And to be real, she did a very good job considering all that she had going on.
Yeah.
Sharing her story and dealing with her asshole of a husband.
And that stuff will give you a different perspective of like, girl, none of this is important, which I agree with, even though I'm a viewer of the mess. But like, none of this is actually important. But also, I say this all the time. It's like, I agree with you, but also maybe it's time for you to get off the show because you don't think that any of this is important, or you don't feel like that you feel like, doing all the stuff because it's not important. And I agree with you, but like, this is the gig.
But then it's like, this is the check. Like,
this is the gig.
Yeah. I don't know. I know randomly there is someone, you know what? I'm gonna hold that because I don't even know her name, but she's someone that's down there in Huntsville that should definitely be a part of their cast, considering all the drama she got going on social media.
Okay, cool.
If y'all know who I'm talking about, drop it down in the comments.
Okay. And then the last thing is that Mel sat down with them and wanted to know why with Tisha and Kimmy, and wanted to know why they didn't come to her podcast recording with Carlos King. And they were just kind of like, girl, the millimeters are not nice. The millimeters are not nice. And we did not feel like dealing with it. And I also thought that Tisha made a good note because I forgot about this. She was like, girl, the last time I came to your stuff uninvited, you had me escorted out.
You know what? I'm with you when you're right, girl. I'm with you when you're right.
So it stands to reason that I'm not going to show up any place that you have not explicitly invited me to. And I was like, you know what?
That part. And I mean, but in this situation, girl, this was not her event. This was a Carlos King event that she just happened to be a part of.
Agreed. I hear you. But also, like, I mean, honestly, it was a convenient excuse, but I was not mad at that being the answer. Like, girl, I'm not showing up to nothing else of yours that you didn't invite me to personally.
No, that part.
You gonna set me up. Let's do a quick Summer House Martha's Vineyard review of the last 2 episodes of the reunion and then the finale.
Did you watch the reunion?
I did.
Okay, as long as we all on the same page. Amir and Natalie. I am with you when you write. I totally see where Amir is. He is supporting his woman, even through her ignorance and her bullshit. And I feel where you are, my friend, because you stuck between a rock and a hard place. However, your girl was dead ass wrong.
Dead ass wrong. He was wrong. Big wrong.
Like, none of these people are your friends, girl. You coming in here trying to carry the bone, and the girls are explicitly saying to you, whether it was on camera or not, these are the things that are happening, but this is not a conversation that needs to be had with Tasia. And I feel you're like, well, I'm going to talk to Tasia about it.
I feel
nobody asked you to do that.
Yeah. And I feel like Alex was kind of like, he hit the nail on the head when he was like, no, people are being honest with Amir. He just don't like what he's hearing.
That part.
And I was like, that's really it. Because they were basically telling him, no, your girl brought it up. She came here and she started mess. Like, be serious right now. You know what I mean? And he was kind of taking her side, which cool. But also like, dude, she came and started mess. And I had hoped that he would see that. And at the reunion, I think he kind of did say, like, yeah,
no,
I mean, it didn't look
he
good.
said it just to say it, but he didn't agree. You could see it all over his face.
No, he didn't necessarily agree, but I feel like looking back, he was probably like, "Ooh, that didn't look good." You know what I mean?
Here's my thing about Amir and Natalie.
Go for it.
That girl do not like you, young man.
Not young man.
Take it from an auntie. Okay?
Not young man.
She do not like you.
Oh my God.
What she likes is your proximity to fame.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is why sis is here.
Cool.
Because every time, because they talked about this at the reunion and everybody was like, you know, I forget who was that said it.
It was Simon and Bria that they were talking about when they were talking about proximity to fame. Did they say it with Nick and Natalie also?
No, what they were talking, they were asking like, who thinks that Natalie's a good fit for Amir? And nobody said anything.
No.
And then somebody said something about how when they asked about, you know, where do you see yourselves in like the next 5 years? He was on some, you know, like married, you know, building a life together, la-di-da-di-day. And she's talking about business and corporate. I don't know. It was someone else on the cast, one of the girls that was like, you talking about like, is he an employee? Like, girl, what is happening? He's talking about being in a relationship. You're talking about business. And to me, when they said that, I said, boom, that's what it is. She loves his proximity to fame. Yeah. Yes, she might be the multi-million-dollar real estate agent, but with you by her side, she's going to make more money potentially because of your notoriety.
Like, are the people, is she trying to shop a Selling Houston on Netflix? You know what I mean? So let's just transition. This came up about Simon and Bria, where the people were kind of like, I don't know, Simon feel like he kind of just like the attention a little bit. She did say that, you know, yeah, he likes the attention. I don't know if he's using me for clout. We've been together, but you know, he likes the attention. So
I think that with all the tussling that they had going on, had she not had the proximity to fame, like the 15 minutes of fame, he probably would be like, all right, girl, I'm not dealing with all of this. Love or not, I'm not dealing with all of this because that's a lot of rah-rah. Okay? Yeah. You hold on to that. I'm going to go over here with my multi-millions and live my best life. However, you are famous. So that stands to give me opportunity to make more millions. Yeah. I'm going to ride your coattails.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. And he did it the right way as opposed to Natalie, in my opinion, because he came in with gifts. And so now we know he a watch dealer. Like, we know
he got a whole business.
He was kind of slick with it. You know what I mean? Like, he was strategic.
Even though the friends did call it. They
clocked it immediately, of course. But he was like, he brought some value to the situation, whereas Natalie came in trying to be messy and looking like she wanted to be a reality star. Simon looked like he was trying to use the opportunity to make some extra money, but he don't necessarily seem like he want to be a reality star per se, as opposed to Natalie, to me.
And so shout out to the good sis Noelle, who we love so much. She basically said in an interview with Kim Power, where she was just letting the chopper sing. Maybe evidently didn't have no media training yet, because she was with all the tea. I'm not mad at it. I was here for it, and so was Kim Power. Shout out to Kim Power. But she basically said that Natalie was the main one that was basically, she wants to be a part of this cast, but at the same time, like the thing which pissed me off about that reunion, they never talked about the microaggressions that they made mention of it, but they never talked about the microaggressions that was Natalie's conversation to Amir about the group.
And they missed a lot in that reunion, and I think we can maybe...
It should have been 2 parts.
Yeah, maybe, but like, I think they missed out a lot. They missed out the part about Natalie petting Tasia, literally petting her like she was an animal. They missed out a lot of cultural nuances, and we're going to come back with a second conversation about this, but they just missed out on a lot of cultural nuances that I think would make for a better show.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say my favorites this season, Noel and Nick, because Nick is also a Leo. And the way he was carrying himself, I was just like, my man, $100,000.
Yeah, I like Nick. I was
so funny.
Not surprised, but interested to know that he and Tasia are no longer together. I felt like that lady was gonna be like, she was gonna watch this show back and was like, girl, you embarrassed me for a second season in a row, girl. Absolutely not.
And I also did not appreciate how Amir tried to single out Nick for being drunk in these environments where Shanice is booty ball naked.
I ain't like that either. We've established that Shanice is kind of tacky and like she just be all over the place when she drunk and she be naked, and it's like, girl, it's too much. It's too much, especially around, people who are in relationships or whatever the case may be. It's a lot.
And my thing is like, so Amir, because you literally all season put yourself in a box and was miserable without telling us you were miserable, and then as soon as she got there, that's when you decided to get drunk.
Well, then he admitted it too. He was kind of like, Natalie is my fun, and then when she isn't here,
Natalie is not your fun. Your fun is you letting yourself be free.
Absolutely, and you felt like
Natalie
you
is your
free
leash
without Natalie because you needed something to do after your freedom. And if you didn't have nothing to do, this is my speculation, y'all. This is not whatever, but if you didn't have anything or to do afterward, then you were going to have an issue. So you clammed yourself up the whole time, the whole season, and only let loose when she was around, which I think it was not good. I did not enjoy him at all this season.
Shit-faced drunk the first night that y'all are really like having a function.
Yeah. And to me, it says you can't control yourself. Like, you should be able to control yourself. And I understand, like, when people are drunk, like they get, maybe not so much, but like, you should get to a point where you can control yourself, especially when you're in a relationship. And he seemed like he just didn't trust himself to be able to keep himself together in that space. So the fact that he had so much to say about Nick was like, girl, not too much on Nick. Not too much on Nick.
Hello. And that's exactly how I felt, because no, not with the brethren. You the one with the self-imposed
like Nick.
Leash.
We don't like you.
Natalie.
We don't like you. We like Nick. We don't like you.
I liked him up until he was doing all that.
I liked him last season, but I ain't like him this season. He was annoying. He didn't bring nothing to the table. And then Natalie came around and he was rah-rah. And then when she left, he was rah-rah on her behalf and didn't have the full facts. And then when he was presented with the full facts, he was still rah-rah and out of order. No,
rah-rah
didn't like. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Rah-rah and wrong, boo. Rah-rah
loud and wrong. You was loud and wrong.
Loud and wrong about a woman that don't really like you. that is the clownery. Because trust and believe, if the next biggest check rolls up, you out of there, Playboy.
100%. 100%.
Hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
She can tell you whatever the hell she wants to. I'd never believe it.
You're out of there.
Based off of what she said alone.
Yeah.
Because if a woman really loves you, she's going to talk about you, not about the proximity to money.
And also, she's not going to embarrass you on a public platform. So and talk
about
how she makes so much more than you.
Or to other people. Like,
yeah. So anyways, we're coming back with a second episode about Summer House Martha's Vineyard adjacent. So stay tuned. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye,
y'all. Bye.